Oh, yes, about handy. So it's just nice just to spend a few minutes just bringing these in. Oh, I've been in the garden, I can feel my back stretching out. Maybe head to knees, breathing all the breath out. And all the breath in, let the knees fall away. Exhaling. And inhaling. When we place the head down, we can put it on a cushion or on the ground. We can just circle the knees just to massage into the lower back. These blocks off. And then maybe letting one knee lengthen away. Maybe bring the hands behind the back of one thigh and just bring the knees in. And maybe let the bottom leg hover from the ground. And then change sides. So just alternating, in your own time, just slowly. So one leg is hovering. We bring the other thigh in. Changing when we feel ready to change. Maybe a couple more times each side. And then grounding the left foot maybe and bring the right, put the belt over the ball of the right foot. And you've probably got a choice, you've probably got your way of doing this. You can either bring it behind the back of the head, so we're kind of balanced. Make sure the buckle isn't anywhere near the body. Or you could thread the arms through so there's no effort either to do it with it that way. So just for a moment we can bend and flex the leg, bend in the knee and lengthen away. So we feel a nice stretch to the back of the calf. So we can inhale as we bend and exhale as we lengthen. As we lengthen, think about letting the spine unfold and relax down onto the ground. And then maybe let the legs stay long. Let the arms come out to the side. And just focus a moment for relaxing the back of the thigh. Any niggles in the back, let the knee bend. Heel pushes towards the sky, or we feel like we're pushing the heel to the sky. So we feel a stretch down the back of the lower leg. And the toes tip down. Take a few long inhales, long exhales. Maybe the other leg wants to extend away if you've not done it already. Maybe extend the left leg away. And again, activate the foot, so a nice flex foot. So pushing both heels away and turning both toes towards the head. And then just relax here. And then take the mind around the body, checking in how this feels. And getting a sense of how this feels in this moment. And anything we want to change or need to change, just let that happen. Maybe after a few breaths, the head feels like it's going to relax further down to the earth. And the leg comes a little bit more upright maybe. So looking for a stretch on the back of the thigh and maybe the calf as well. But not on the back of the knee though, so we don't stretch anything in the knee. Now we're going to slide the left foot down to the ground and bring the belt from around the head and hold into the right hand. And we're going to let the legs fall away from each other so we have an thigh stretch. So we're holding onto the belt, keeping the leg coming towards this right shoulder. And then we can let that counterbalance by letting the left knee fall out to the left and maybe bring the left foot towards the right thigh or lengthen it away down to the ground. And if you want to rest this right leg onto a bolster or a pad of bricks or the wall or anything, please do. But keeping the left hip on the ground. Make sure there's no tugging in the knee area and just adjust how our leg is to make sure the stretchy sensation is in the inner thigh and nowhere near the knee. And maybe relax this left foot and find a relaxing, releasing sensation inside the right inner thigh. And then a breath in, drawing the leg back to centre. So you want to have the foot, ideally, on top of the hip. And then we're going to bring the belt into the left hand and just slightly bring it across. We're keeping the hips on the ground. We even bring the right thumb into the crease of the right hip and roll that to the ground and ease it over towards the right side, the left side. So we feel a stretch maybe on the outer thigh or the outer hip or even down the outer leg. We'll probably all feel it differently, but some kind of stretchy sensation, a connection. Come back to the breath in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And then going to come into a twist, so let the right hip lift up and let the right leg come over to the left. If you want to use your bolster to put your foot to rest or your bricks or blocks, if you want to do that. So we're having a nice twist. So we let the head turn in the opposite direction through the leg. Maybe scuttle the shoulder blades to the left so we find room for both shoulder blades to relax down. We can always bring this right arm above the head to add an extra stretch around the armpits, the shoulders, the upper chest. And breathe and relax. You might feel like pushing the the supports away and bringing that leg further down to the ground. But keep hold of the belt, keep the foot coming towards the left shoulder. So we're still active and not just completely relaxed. And then a breath in, we lift the leg back to centre. We can bring the foot out the belt and just realign the hips and the spine. Again, just gently circle the knees, checking and making sure everything feels comfortable, everything's relaxed. And then we're going to lengthen the left leg, is that right? Yeah, left leg, and hover it from the ground, so push the heel away, drawing the knee into the body. So just checking we're doing the opposite leg, because I've forgotten completely now which leg I did first. It was so long ago. So just make sure, you know, feel into how it feels for you. Does it feel like you've done this side already? And then we're going to lengthen the left leg to the sky, right foot comes down to the ground. We're going to bring the belt over the left ball of the foot. And again, we can either put the arms through and just use the elbow so there's no kind of effort to be here. Or we can make sure there's buckles nowhere near the head or the head or body, and bring it round the back of the head. And then we'll just bend and flex the leg. So bend and extend. So feeling our way into this stretch. Nice stretch down the back of the thigh, the hamstrings, maybe around the calf. Come back to the breath. And then maybe let the legs stay long and relax. Just again check there's no tension in the back of the knee. Maybe a stretchy sensation in the back of the thigh and the calf, but nothing going on with the knee. The heel is tucked into the sky and the toes are tipping down. And this right leg, if it's not extended already, maybe extend the right leg away. And if it doesn't feel right by doing that, just rebend and then ground the foot. So if you feel tired, you can always relax this right foot or keep it active. Depends what feels best. Maybe connecting with your Ujjayi breath. Breathe in the back of the throat. And see if we can breathe in and out of the nostrils. Create that little sigh and sound like the ocean breeze. Just letting everything release. Everything relax. And then we're going to bend the right knee and bring the belt into the hands. And we're going to let the leg fall away from each other. So let the knees and the thighs fall away. Boy, I'm on the wrong leg, aren't I? Oh, hecky thump. So let the leg fall away. If you need to put the support on the other side, please do. no, that wasn't that leg. Doesn't want to do that. Okay. Just fall away, stretching the inner thighs. And either keep the right knee bent, so it's like a balance for the hips, or we can lengthen it away. Just depends what feels best for you. Aiming to have the leg coming towards the left shoulder. So we feel a stretch on the inner thigh. Breathing softly here. And then lifting that leg back to centre, crossing across the body. So a little tiny movement to make sure the foot is as near above the hip as we can get it. And then take it slightly across. We can use the left thumb into the hip joint to make sure the hip stays down towards the ground. And just take the leg across. So we feel a stretch on the outer hips, the outer thighs. And then final twist, so let the left hip lift up and roll over. So if you want to soften the bottom leg, you can do. But we're in a twist, so just let the head turn the opposite direction. We can use the elbows to scuttle the shoulder blades. The arm could be around the head, to stretch the underarm and across the pectorals and upper chest. And then bring the legs back to centre. Both legs come into the belt. I'm going to let the belt come nice and wide and let the feet just rest there. Push the heels to the sky, tip the toes down and just relax the legs if we can. If you want to bring the hands under the hips, we can do that. And then bring the feet together and hold the belt and have that nice stretch on both legs. And then bend the knees and bring the feet to the ground. Remove any pillows from under the head. And we're just going to come through our bridge pose. So we're going to exhale, lift the hips. Now if you find your energy is low, we can always put bricks underneath the bottom to stay lifted, or we could just use the energy in the thighs and the calves, the tummy, the abdominals. Hands can come under the bottom, shoulders roll underneath, and we just engage the glutes. So as we inhale, push the feet away and engage with the glutes and the thighs. So if you want to hold the glutes and make sure we're engaging those muscles, we can do. And then soften off, and then release slightly, and then engage when we breathe. Noticing where our feet are, and if you want to change where the feet are, then please do. When I feel, make sure we feel centered and in control. And we can either stay here or we can lift the heels. And then we can alternate lifting the heels, or we could stay with both heels lifted and then breathe here. If you wanted to bring a cushion or blocks between the knees, just to use the inner thighs as well, we could do that. Little pulses with the breath, so energizing the thighs and the glutes. Last one, and then we release the bottom down, taking that cushion away. Hands on the tummy and just rock forward and backward to soothe the back, to soothe the hips, the sacrum, the ilium, all the hips joints, pelvic area, and then side to side. And then circle the hips either direction. And then we're going to come back up, if it feels a good idea, and put the hands behind onto the bottom, shoulders roll underneath. Check the feet are where we feel in control and centered. And we're going to lift one leg up and then lift the other heel. Now if it feels too strong, excuse me, if there's anything in the lower back, then just ground the heel. And you lift the heel if it feels a good idea. We have little pulses here. So little pulses in the glutes and the thigh. Holding up, changing legs, and little pulses. Changing feet, coming down, release the hands. Soles of feet come together, knees come wide. Exhale, tuck the tail under. So we're scooping the tail under and lift up the hips. And both glutes engaging. So we're using the gluteus medius, which is the medium-sized muscles, more the side of the glutes. So we've got little pulses there. Any niggles in the back, just come down and come back to normal bridge or rock and roll, soothe the back out. And then releasing down, and then bring the knees in and roll, rock and roll. Arms to the side and little twist, little rocking twist from side to side. Ground the feet, hands behind the ears. Exhale, lifting up. So we're using the abdominal muscles. So we just worked the back muscles. We're going to use the front muscles now, the abdominals. So exhale, lifting up. And then either just lowering all the way down and exhale, lifting up. Or if it feels a good idea, stay lifted up. And feel we're engaging the muscles in our tummy here. Intercostal muscles, that little corset of muscles around the body from the spine to the front. We're lacing them all up and gaze straight to the sky. Keep the elbows on the periphery of the vision. Holding up, lifting the knees over the hips, and we're going to roll to one side and extend the left leg and right arm. So the left leg's long and the right arm's reaching across, and then come back to centre and then lean over to the right and extend the right leg. Is that right? Reaching the left arm across, yeah. So just changing sides. Breathe out as we come across, using the oblique muscles. So we started on the left, so a couple more and finish on the right. And then coming down, circle the knees either direction. And then maybe lengthen the legs, stretching the body nice and long. Push the heels away. We can hold our right fingers round, left finger around the right wrist and lean over to the right. Legs can walk it, so arms to the left and legs to the left. And then come back to centre and walk the feet over and walk the arms over. Again, walk them back to centre, over to the left, back to centre, and to the right. And then we're going to flip over onto our tummies to come into our Sphinx Pose. Just another stretch of the front body. And if you want to go into seal rather than Sphinx, please do. So shoulders roll back, heart comes forward, and breathe here. And then we're going to push back into extended child. So knees can be together, if that feels comfortable, or knees apart, arms reaching forward, head down to the earth. So if we've got lots of energy, we can be active or we can release. So we're going to come onto all fours. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to just lift the back, bend the back knee and flex the foot to the sky. Little pulses here, pushing that foot up to the sky. Check the fingers spread nice and wide, lift the palms. So draw the energy through the palms of the hands, shoulders roll from the ears, crown of the head reaches forward. Keeping that engaged with the tummy. Take the knee to the side, keep that shape, bring the knee to the side and lift up. So again, we're using the medium-sized bottom muscles to the side. Try to stay the balance on both hands equal. Back behind, and again lift behind, pushing the foot to the sky. Think about the glute, we're using that glute muscle to lift the leg. Body's nice and still, tummy's drawing in, shoulders relax away from the ears, crown of the head reaching forward. Knee back to the side. Back behind, last one behind. Back to the side. And then just stretch out in child or cat curl. And then we'll take that to the side. So if you want to put padding under the knees, please do. So on the other leg, focus on that glute. And to the side, like Sarah on top of her caravan the other day. And behind. And to the side. Little pulses up. And then back behind. Feeling that thigh, the glute engaging and the hamstring. Keep the shoulders lifting. Keep the ears lifting, keep the crown reaching forward, back to the side. And then stretching out in child. So arms can bounce inside the body, wiggle the fingers. Either stay there or curl onto the crown of the head, interlocking the fingers behind the back and lift the arms. Change the interlock of fingers. And then coming into a little squat. So if you want to sit on a bolster or some blocks under the heels, we can do. Just to stretch out the hips. Hands to heart centre. Heels can be grounded if that feels a good idea. If you want to bring the leg out to the side, just find that nice balance. And again, we can put something under the heel, or we can sit on something. If you want to do it quite high, you can always sit on a stool or a chair. Just a nice stretch on this inner thigh, so the knee and the toes face the sky. So we're drawing up and drawing in. Balance is always something comes and goes, and then we'll change sides. And then we're going to come to dangle. So now feet nice and wide, toes in, elbows could be on the thighs, or we could just dangle down, whatever feels nice. Bend the knees, we open through the hips. We can inhale, lengthen the arms, and then exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bending. Lengthening. And bending. And then heels in, toes out, coming to stand. So we're going to give some, finding our belt. Maybe find a wall. We're going to do some standing balances. Really good for our bone density. And I haven't shown you, but the man on the calendar is doing his standing balance, so we're going to do that. So if you want to find a wall, and we're going to bring the belt around the foot, so we can hold onto a chair or a wall. Ooh. Put your foot on the wall, I think. That's it. So that's what we're doing. We're standing on one leg. I've got my foot on the wall, but you don't have to. And you're going to try and see how you get on. You can use a sit at the side, holding the belt, drawing the leg in. So a nice strong standing leg. A little bend in the knee if we need. Shoulders against the wall. Maybe lifting the arm. Lifting the leg. Really good for our bone density, as I'm always going on about it. It's good to stand on the weight on one leg. Bringing that leg forward. Maybe see if we can hold it with the belt. Can bend and straighten the leg. Like we were doing when we were lying down. So pushing the heel away, bringing the toes towards the face. So we're getting that stretch, but we're also getting that strength in the standing leg. Engaging through the tummy, still feel the engaging through all the muscles around the abdominals. Breathe out the tightness or tension. And then we're going to come back to the side. So we're going to come back, same leg. Both arms out. The man on the photograph's holding his foot. So if you'd like to hold your foot, you can do. I'm not going to hold it as long as the first time. So bring the leg forward, back in the reins. And then release it down and just pause. Don't shake anything, just stand and feel. Feel what's going on either side of the body. And then release the chin down, open the eyes, and we'll take that to the other side. So belt over the ball of the foot. Out to the side. So we stand on the other leg. Again, we can use the wall for our bottom to be on, our shoulders. Our hand can be on a chair, on anything that helps us, our window ledge. And then we're going to stand here. So nice flex foot. Nice strong standing leg. Feel the arch of the foot lifting. Try not to lean out too much. Try to stay centered. And bring the leg forward, holding our reins. And then back to the side. Feel the arch lifting of the standing foot. Take these toes out and extend the leg to the sky. And then bring it back forward. Find our reins. And then release. And then just for a moment, just close both eyes and just see how each side of the body's feeling. And then maybe find our tree with the right foot onto the inner left thigh. So the foot is facing down, the foot. If you want the foot on the ground, that's great. That's you listening to your body. We want to make sure the knees out to the side though, so we're opening through the hips, and this standing on this one leg strengthens our hip muscles, really good for our bone density and our hip muscles. So make sure this foot is facing down the leg. If it's skew-if and facing forward, it might be damaging the knee, so take the foot down onto the ground, work from the ground up. And then if it feels a good idea, we can lift the arms to the sky, interlocking our fingers. So feel like someone's got hands on our shoulders, roll our shoulders down. Our lower ribs are tucked in, abdominals engaged. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel that standing arch foot lifting. Gripping the toes, so feel that lifting arch. And as we draw the arch up, we engage with the mullar band at the base of the body. That's lifting. The diaphragm lifting. Crown of the head rising. Find that nice peace in this pose. And then we're going to change sides. So again, it could be different on this side. You want to have the foot on the ground, on the calf, not on the knee. Don't put any damage on the knee. And again, we want the hips to be open, so the knee is open to the side, not coming forward to the side. And arms can be down on the wall, or we could rise up. Shoulders relax down from the ears. Relax the shoulders down. Lift the arch. Lift up for the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Relax the shoulders from the ears. And then release. At the bottom be on the wall, or just come into a forward fold with legs wide. Elbows can be onto the knees. Hands to the earth. Let the head release down. Just let the head move from side to side, forward and backwards. And then bend the knees, coming down onto the earth. So we're going to come into a forward fold. Oops, move the thingy. So find your forward fold. So we can have legs together, or we can have legs wide. If you want to sit on the cushion or support, can do. So you want to put the head on a bolster and just hug the bolster. You know that you can do that. Just thinking about just a nice stretch inside of the thighs. Or we could put our arms on the bolster and the head in the hands. And just relax, release. Make sure there's nothing in the knees, make sure there's no sensation in the knees. Soften the knees as much as we need, so we don't feel anything going on the knees, protecting our knees. Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? Back of the thighs, stretching, and the calves, maybe the inner thighs. Moving that fleshy part of the bottom away. And an in-breath, just slowly coming out when you're ready to. I'm going to come to a gentle twist, seated twist. So I'm going to bring the, bending this right knee in, right elbow on the inside of this right thigh. Nice long straight left leg, toes facing the sky. And we're going to turn. So we inhale, lift, exhale, turn. So you might have more movement around the waist or the ribs. Let the hand rest on our cushion if you've got a cushion behind, and just come into a nice twist. Turning forward, if it feels okay, we can bring the right foot onto the inner thigh, like we're in our standing tree. We're going to put padding under the knee. If we've got a damaged knee, you put a bolster underneath to rest the knee. And then we're going to inhale, lift up and reach forward and drop down onto the leg. So again, if you want to put a bolster or something on top of the leg, let the head rest on that, you can do. But just think about lengthening the body forward, stretching the back of the thigh, back of the thigh, yeah, not the knee, and let the head just relax forward. Use the breath to inhale, lift, lengthen forward, feel a nice stretch through the back, and then release down. Walking the hands back, lift that right knee, lengthen both legs, inhale, lift the arms and reach forward. Just relaxing over the legs one more time. Bend the knees as much as we need to find a nice stretch and a nice release in the back. And then as we inhale, bring that knee in, left knee this time, left elbow on the inside of this left knee. And I'm going to inhale, lift through the spine, and on the exhale, turn from the tummy, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, and the head, the next last. Nice flex foot on the right foot. Maybe holding that cushion behind. And then turning forward, putting the blocks under, support under the right knee, left knee if you want. We want the foot on the inside of the leg like we're in tree, and then leaning forward, dropping down. Inhale, lifting, extend both legs and relax forward one more time. And then see, so we're going to come to recline now to finish. If anything else you want to do, any other pose you like to do, any inversion, please do. I just thought we'd finish lying on our bolsters, lifting up this end so it lifts up. So we're going to open up our chest and do some long, deep breaths. Just to completely relax the end. So put on warm socks, blankets. The legs can be straight and long, or we can have the knees out to the side. You could cross the ankles if you want to do an extra stretch on the thighs. So checking in with our back. So some people, if they have the back right against the bolster, it might be too strong because it's quite strong opening through the tummy. So you may want to have a little space between the back before the bolster starts, and then lengthen back. So we lengthen the spine. So when we lean back and have a cushion or pillow, something behind the head. So make sure the chin isn't too high up. So we want to, as we gaze to the sky, we can just see more of the room. We can't see the back, just see the front. Our arms can be relaxed to the side. We can put cushions under the forearms if we wanted to. So choosing how you want to have your legs. It could be straight and long, or another bolster under the legs even, if you want to put another bolster underneath the legs, if you had two. And put that on the back. So take a few minutes to set yourself up, make sure you're in that position where you can completely feel supported and you can relax and release. Toes, maybe feet coming in, knees flopping out a little bit if you've got a bolster under the legs, the back of the knees. And as we breathe in, we're going to breathe the breath in for the tummy, the ribs, the chest. And see if you can feel the whole of the lungs like a big balloon, like a big heart-shaped balloon, filling, expanding it. So we feel every part of it puffing out with breath. And as we get to the very top, pause and see if we can sniff in a little bit more breath. And then hold on to that breath until we need to release and let it all relax down. Closing the back of the throat, using our Ujjayi breath. So inhaling. Sniffing in. And releasing out when you're ready. All the breath out. Maybe pausing with all the breath out before you breathe in. The tummy expands, the ribs expand, the chest lifts. And then exhaling all the breath out. Deflating that balloon. Little sniffs at the top, see if we can bring any more breath into the lungs. And release all the breath out. Holding on to the pause, holding on to the stillness at the end of the breaths. Nice, long, deep breaths. Until it feels right to let all the thought of controlling the breath and just be still, be present, be peaceful. And staying here for as long as you need. And when you do need to move, just rolling onto the side and take a moment as we come to seated at the end when you feel ready to leave. So don't rush anywhere, stay present for as long as you can. Namaste.